LG and LG, we're back, we're back, we're back. LG squared, LG squared. This is so exciting, but
What's
so
up, kids?
sad at the same time. The people miss you.
Well, I'm back now. Let's go. You guys ready for this Monday? Snow? Snow. Like Saturday 60, Sunday like 55, today snow.
Snow. It happened. It's a real thing.
April, go home. You're drunk. Look at you.
Only 3 more weeks, that's it. That's all we got. That was good. That was good.
Holy.
We're all set with Sam? Okay. Procession for Detective Ben Campbell travels from Bangor to a South Portland funeral home. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. Let's go live to Sam York, who's in Stormy and has been following the procession all day today. Sam?
Hey guys, yeah, we actually just got to South Portland to the Conroy Tullywalker Funeral Home. It's on Broadway in South Portland, but we started our journey this morning in Millinocket, and there was a procession that carried Detective Campbell's body to Bangor for a bit, where there was just people lining every single overpass as they made the trip from Bangor all the way to here in South Portland. There were first responders, DOT crew members, everybody just coming out to salute and pay their respects to this detective who tragically lost his life last week on I-95. Now, and it wasn't just first responders that we also saw people who were pulled over on the side of the road, probably just having their usual commute, decided to pull over, come out, pay their respects. It was an incredible, incredible sight to see, and just shows how much people appreciate our law enforcement and what they do for us, and just how big this family truly is. Now, we spoke to some of the crew members that were up paying their respects on the overpass, and here's what they had to say.
It's an absolute honor to be able to be out here today to pay our respects to Detective Campbell, and can't think of any other place I'd want to be more than here right now. I didn't know Detective Campbell personally, but it sounds like he was a really outstanding guy. So I think if we could all just try and live our lives the way he lived his, it'll be the best honor we could give him.
Now, of course, as I mentioned along the way, there were so many wonderful moments, one of them being the DOT crew members who they had just pulled over to the side of the road and just came out to pay their respects. And another just wonderful moment was we drove by a handful of state police officers who were standing and saluting their brother in blue. So just so many amazing things along the way. Detective Campbell's funeral is starting tomorrow at 10:30 in Portland at the Cross Insurance Arena. You can catch it on Facebook Live. We'll also have it on air, YouTube Live, on our website and mobile app, and we'll have much more on the procession coming up tonight at 6. Back to you guys.
All right, Samantha York live for us this afternoon. Thank you very much for that. In other news, the man accused of murdering a Somerset County Sheriff's deputy was in court today. His lawyer trying to get his confessions thrown out. John Williams is accused of killing Sheriff's Deputy Eugene Cole, and his lawyer is trying to get that confession tossed out of court. Williams has decided not to testify in his suppression hearing, We'll have much more in the story coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Closing arguments were heard today in the Shauna Gatto bench trial after calling witnesses made up of family members, neighbors, or others who lived with Shauna Gatto prior to the death of 4-year-old Kendall Chick. The defense rested its case after consulting with counsel. Gatto did not testify today. Justice William Stokes said a verdict will be read on April 30th at 1 p.m.
Okay, so April, make up your mind, okay? 60, 57, and then snow. Like, I don't know what's going on, April, but you got to go. Like, this is ridiculous.
But this is also Maine.
Come
What
on.
happened?
But come on.
And you'll like this, Lee, that we have another snow event coming.
Not one, but two.
For-
This
for
is
Tuesday
what
night.
happens when I come back here.
It is.
You start doing this.
Once you don't have to get up at 2 a.m. Well, you still get up at 2 a.m., but it's
fair.
for the kids.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. All right, let's have a look at the storm. Still snowing pretty good over the central and northern part of the state. Starting to wrap it up over the southern, sixth or so of the state. That's about it. A couple of sleet showers back end through Sebago. You can see it's dry to the west, though, so we're done. Lewiston's about done. West Paris is about a half hour from being done. Not the case, though, over the central part of the state into northern Maine. Jackman, a couple more hours. Greenville as well. Dover, Foxcroft, so still coming down there. Down east Maine also will be snowing through a good portion of the night, as will Aroostook County. So you can see there isn't much mixing going on at this point. Of course, as the sun wanes and sets, it will get even colder. Temperatures into the 20s, so that's where it's easy to stick that snow to the pavement, to anything really. Right around freezing and a little above Portland, Sanford, and so that's where it's harder to get that accumulation to occur. Mainly grass, a little slush on the roads here and there. Hasn't been a big travel problem over the southern part of the state. Hour by hour forecast showing you the rest of the snow continuing here 10, 11 o'clock. Gets out of here midnight. Tomorrow we're in the 30s still, guys, so we're going to have a hard time burning off much of the snow. And as I mentioned, another storm for Tuesday night.
Oh boy. Guess we'll just have to get through it. This is the time of year when all the shoes pile up at the door, you know, the flip-flops, the boots, everything.
I mean, it's like put the jackets away, take the jackets out, put in the sneakers, get back the boots, like put the shovels away.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
but it comes with the territory of Maine.
It does.
All right, guys, an update to a story we first told you about in the fall, a demand for more parking in Biddeford and the city's multi-phase plan to solve that. The first phase made parking along the Main Street corridor short-term parking with 30-minute and 2-hour spaces. Phase 2 converted 8 free public surface lots to pay-per-use lots. Now the city is moving forward with Phase 3 by seeking permits to build a more than $10 million parking garage at 3 Lincoln Street. And thanks to a new agreement between 2 developers, there are more plans in store for the site to potentially create a mixed-use space next to that garage.
What's important for everyone to know is that the development of that lot and the development of the River Dam Mill, which is also abutting that particular piece of property, are all contingent on having a garage. No garage, no development, because it's not enough spaces. You know, this is a Biddeford's an old mill town, and people used to walk to work, so there's no surplus of parking spots for anybody that works here or shops here.
And this will be the city's first parking garage, and we will be built in 2 phases. That permit-seeking process they're starting now could take up to 6 months to complete. Middle school volleyball players in Fresno, California were working out over the weekend when they spotted a woman in distress.
This is unbelievable. So this team had some really quick thinking and some really kind words, and they're being credited with saving a woman's life. NBC's Gadi Schwartz tells us more.
For a team of young volleyball players in Fresno, California, it was a break from their regular routine.
We don't run that bridge, ever. In my 6 years here, never did that. And none of the sports that we've done.
Volleyball coach Murray Elliott had his team go for a run over a bridge near their school, but nothing prepared the boys for what they found there.
We thought it was a girl from our school, but it wasn't.
It was a woman hanging from this bridge by her arms, more than 100 feet in the air.
I realized what was going on when her foot started dangling. Then after that, we all ran down as a team to go tell our coach.
Authorities say the 47-year-old woman had been trying to jump in an attempt to take her own life. A shocked Coach Elliott called 911.
I said immediately, go back up and get her attention, tell her her life matters. So for a whole 10 minutes or so, they did not stop yelling, screaming, telling her your life matters.
She was like hanging. Her feet were dangling off, and it was really hard for her to pull herself up.
The boys did what they could, pleading with the woman to pull herself back up, and she eventually did.
I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. And then what was best about it is, I know we saved the woman's life, but I'm proud that I was able to do it with my brothers.
The Fresno police called the boys true heroes, adding their words of encouragement caused this woman to realize her life had value. Thank God they were in the right place at the right time.
I believe that no matter what you're going through in life, if you pray and you fight through it, you're gonna make it through.
I'm like a father to them. So to see them do the things that I instilled in them is so gratifying. You know, as a coach and to a father figure to them. So I'm very proud of it.
And what a tremendous just presence of mind to not panic in the moment, to not know what to do, to help, you know, when the kids, we're talking about kids, so that's pretty amazing.
They're going to do big things someday, I'm sure.
We certainly hope.
They already have.
And, now there's at least one person who can literally, you know, credit the rest of her life to those 4 boys.
Amazing.
So, all right. Still to come, we're going to see how they're celebrating the end of ski season, but not in our state. We're not done here yet. How about on the other side of the world?
And 2 high school students help a little girl do something she's always dreamed of.
What's up, Facebook?
What's up, everybody? I have to correct something. Is it the Riverdale Mill or the River Dam Mill in Biddeford? River Dam
Facebook,
Mill.
What do you think?
I think it's River Dam.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Kiri. You guys are sweet.
Isn't it
Steve,
so nice
you gotta
to have
hang
him
in
back?
there. It's very confusing, but we're gonna actually explain it coming up here in the next segment. So you'll be all set. It is like the Maine weather. Just changes all the time, except it won't be changing anymore. This is a one change deal. Thank
One
you,
and
Jeffrey. One and done, that's it. Are we going over there?
We are.
All right, we're going over here. I think Keith's coming too. I'm not sure. So I'll bring you over here with us, Facebook.
Do we need any? We don't need any Surfi.
No.
A lot of folks are really happy that you're making this life change for your life.
There's a what's snappening thing though, I think.
I think we just go
No?
a tease, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I think
I'll just
tease.
leave that right there for you. I'll put this on the prompter for you.
Okay.
And then the rest is just a tease to Keith, so.
Good deal, good deal.
Are you coming over?
Okay.
Okay.
So
407.
How many people asked you about what's going on the last few weeks? If you had to take a guess, if you had to guess a number. I don't know the answer, but what do you think?
I mean, hundreds.
You think hundreds of people? Wow.
I would say whether
it feels
it's in
like
person
that.
or online, yeah. It was interesting because depending, I'm learning, and I don't know how, I guess I should have assumed this, but our shows have very different audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of either watching in the morning or you're watching in the afternoon. Very few people are watching in the morning and in the afternoon.
Sure.
So in the morning, there was a lot of, where's Lee Nelson, when's he coming back? And I noticed at night, there was a lot of, why is Lee Nelson doing now? Where are you? So they hadn't seen the morning, and they're like, are you on vacation? Where are you? And I'm like, no, I'm on the morning. So I don't know, I guess I just assumed everybody watches every one of our newscasts.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they don't. So
Yeah, that's fine.
That was interesting.
It's interesting, we were talking about this, you know, people know you, know who you are, but that morning audience might not know you as well as we know you.
So, welcome back. Hi. You guys want to hang out with my peeps here. You guys might have seen this earlier mentioned on the morning show with Lee Nelson, but you've probably noticed for the last month we've been swapping places, and I've been on the morning show and Lee Nelson has been here, and it's been part of an effort to kind of, there it is, to make this a permanent switch. So this will be my last week here on Now and Lee's last week on the morning show. And then starting next Monday, we will swap, and we will be that way for good.
But there's a reason for this.
Yeah, this is, I'm really excited. I mean, listen, my journey to get to this show is well documented. 26 years of doing sports, and then now was invented, and I was like, this is my jam, right? I want to, you know, cross to the dark side of news, and if I'm going to do it, this is the way to do it. And this show is in my heart, and I love it. So my ultimate goal long term, when I even thought about leaving sports, was maybe someday, if Lee Nelson ever retires, the morning show seemed like a natural place where I would like to go. Sharon is there, and she and I worked together back in 1993.
Wow.
Were you born?
Of course I was
born.
born.
I'm just asking. And Todd and I did years together on the weekends. So, you know, to work with those two again was an unbelievable opportunity. And so I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I figured Lee had another 5-6 years on the morning show. But after 30, I think he's good. So he's going to get to spend some time with you and with his wife, Cindy, which is going to be new for them after 3 decades apart. And I'm going to get to be home during the days with my kids and help my wife with all of the balls that are in the air all the time in our family.
Dogs and cats.
Yeah,
this is really going to free you up for the 8th child. I will say, I think now with this schedule, the sky is the limit.
So I can go past 8. You got to move.
No, let's just keep it. 8's
number?
a nice round number. It's your lucky number.
We're going to talk a lot about this, not like this, but this week we'll talk more. I do have some instructions for Lee that we'll talk about the two of you that we'll talk about as we move forward. So the support's been awesome. You guys are the best, and thank goodness neither one of us is going anywhere. We're just swapping. So it's just the Lee swap. It'll be easy for you. You'll know it's Lee. You won't have to. You don't have to worry about it.
I know, but you two are totally different personalities.
We are definitely different people. So yeah. So you guys are the best. And anyway, just wanted to share that with you today. So there you go.
Very cool. Well, we will miss you very much.
You still got a whole week left, so
I know.
Buckle up.
Begins the week of goodbyes, but it's not goodbye. It's see you later.
That's right.
Always.
See you earlier.
All right. Speaking of saying see you later bye, we're gonna take a
for you to say.
Right. Nailed it. We're gonna take a nailed it. Keith said. We're gonna take a quick break, but when we come back, oh, I know, we're gonna see what's snapping, and you probably already know the answer because yes. It snowed today.
And boy, the one thing I'll miss the most is the whiteboard. So we're going to hear from Keith about the weather. I can't even read that far away. All right.
I have bad handwriting. Just
we're coming back with some weather.
My favorite whiteboard was, when do we get septuplet back?
That was awesome. I saw that. It must have been on social media or something. So
that was funny. Oh, goodness gracious. Kiri says she does watch both morning and evening. Kiri, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that.
I know, Kiri, it is weird not having Facebook in the mornings. Every commercial in the morning show, the first thing I do is like look at the surface and who can I talk to, and there's nobody there. So I am speaking on no authority at all and have not mentioned this to anybody, but I would love to somehow get Facebook involved in our morning show. So
you should.
I literally just am thinking of that at this moment. So I don't know who I have to talk to make that happen, but I think it'd be great to have Facebook on the morning show. I don't know if Sharon and Todd would agree with me, but I'll talk to you guys. I'll be awake and ready to go. So, okay. Thank you, Jay Bar. Appreciate it.
Josh was telling you to fix your hair.
My hair?
I'm just kidding. I think
what hair?
I think that was directed at me. But.
Okay. Fireman Fred will be up early. What's up, other Fred? Lee will figure it out. This is a hard show, and Lee's done, you know, if you will, regular news for 30 years. This is not an easy show to do. I think I had an advantage coming to this show that I'd never done news before. So having been the sports guy who's just like,
we're in the
fun,
newsroom.
Easy, chatty. This
we have a story and then what's happening. So we're in the newsroom,
Lee's
my
gonna
friend.
be fine. He's a pro's pro.
Robert says something.
No, Mark, I don't want to do the weather.
Paul says we have a case of the Mondays.
I give them a hard time, but
they're
too good at what they do. Okay.
Let's take a walk.
Get over here.
I know Todd would probably be game. You're right, Kiri. All right, we're moving. What do I need over here? Anything?
Ooh, thank you, Michael, for bringing this over.
How do you want to split this? Because I don't see it. Oh, now I do.
Is there a thingy?
There is now. Just swap out and swap back.
Hi, nice purple. Oh, so nice. We're twinning.
Lacy. 8-year-old Lacey Broyles was having trouble keeping up with some of the other kids in her gymnastics and her dance class because she was born just a little bit different.
Oh, John Engel has the story of 2 high school students who helped Lacey live her dream.
This is Lacey. She loves to dance and tumble like a lot of other 8-year-olds, but she was born missing the radial bone in her left arm and her left thumb, making both of her favorite activities a lot tougher.
I can do all the things other kids can do. It's just since I'm different, it's harder.
Lacey's mom wanted to help, but didn't know where to start.
I came up with this design in my head, and I was just thinking I need somebody who can do the 3D printing.
After seeing a post on Facebook, the robotics teacher at David Crockett High School enlisted juniors Landon Hammaker and Jacob Nance to make a prosthetic for Lacey.
And we were like, I don't know if we could do that or not because we've never tried something like this before. It was just like out of our league pretty much.
Now the device is in its 3rd generation and isn't technically a prosthetic, so Lacey came up with a name of her own.
It's for my nub, and that's how I call it my nubsthetic.
I'm glad to see that we were able to make something for her that will allow her to be able to do what she loves.
The nubsthetic will need some tune-ups over the years, but these boys have left an impact on Lacey. She wants to follow in their footsteps.
You know, whenever I get into the 9th grade, I'm probably going to be fixing it myself.
They don't realize the impact that they've had just yet, but when they have children, I hope that one day they'll look back on this and say, I made a difference, and this is what it's all about.
And Lacey's mom says that paying for a commercial prosthetic like that one would have cost the family as much as $5,000.
Wow,
so
pretty expensive.
There you go. All right, what's snapping in spring? Wait, what? What happened?
You need that record skip sound effect?
What
Exactly.
happened here? Spring has sprung in Brunswick, not so much.
I know, chilly too. What did we drop down from? Like how many, 20 degrees yesterday?
That's so
More than 30 degrees?
Look at that.
Yesterday, 50s.
High 50s?
Puppies in Gorham, though, they love it. Like my husky was like, yes, it's back.
Right.
She doesn't know. She's like, winter, yay.
It's not actually, it's not
is pretty.
that drastic of a temperature drop in Maine standards, but it's condition-wise, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know, you go from 55 to snow.
And the roads were just icky.
I mean, we just brought everything out, and now we got to bring everything back in.
See,
like the toys
I
and stuff. I'm like,
didn't
I got to bring everything back in the garage.
I didn't bring anything out,
so.
nor did I put my snow brush away from my car. See, you gotta wait.
Oh no, I have in August.
Yeah, it's
Stays
just
in the
easier to leave
car
it there.
just in case.
It's such a
Just leave it
short
there.
season where you don't need it. That's not really worth it. But
Right.
here's the snow still ongoing. It's some pretty good stuff out there. In the heavier blues indicating the heavier precipitation. You can see the back end moving into western Maine and eastern New Hampshire. We'll start there, and as the intensity wanes, we're tending to change over to rain showers and sleet showers on the back end of this thing. But done here over southern Maine. Still going on, though, in the central part of the state, and some really interesting and strong echoes coming out of New Hampshire and moving through the mountains. Eustis seeing them, Skowhegan seeing them on the flatter areas there in Dover Foxcroft. So still some really good bands of fat flakes that are out there on the radar and coming down as this big wet flakes. Northern Maine seeing light snow generally, but there's still a couple more heavy bands off to the south and west. So all that to say, it's still going to snow for several more hours, basically north of Augusta and into Bangor. Here we're at 11, still snowing in Millinocket, still snowing in Greenville, still snowing in Caribou, done over the rest of the state. And then we clear out a bit tomorrow, but tomorrow's not a great day. It's still largely cloudy. Temperatures struggle to get anything warmer than 35, 36. So we're not going to see the rapid melting of snow that we had seen with our last snow event. I just want you to be aware of that if you're thinking about moving the snow. And maybe you want to, because the next storm that comes through is tomorrow night. It's a lighter event in general, but it still has most of us dealing with some snow Tuesday night through early Wednesday, and you can see it intensifies a bit there. Wednesday morning in time for the commute in a lot of spots, and then it should be out of here by midday or so on Wednesday, and temperatures will warm up to around 40 degrees. So that will largely be gone by the time the storm is done. But at the end of the day, 2 snow events in 3 days here in April. Here's what we're thinking for the next storm. It's about an inch of slush along the, whoop, sorry, went too far forward. Inch of slush or so along the immediate coastline, and then 2 or 3 inches farther inland. You can see what happened there at the end. This is the European model talking about a storm for next Monday too. Trend is up though. The weekend actually looks pretty decent. Temperatures in the upper 50s and right around 60. So the weekend stands out in the way you want the weekend to stand out. However, there is still something cooking out there for next Monday, it would be, which would be the 15th of April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just going to leave that there.
That's there. I'm just going to leave that hanging there.
Dramatic pause.
The weekend does look good, though. You know, an isolated shower possible on Saturday, but if it's near 60, we'll take that trade. And then Sunday looks similar to this past Sunday in the mid-50s. So again, if you've got 2 days that stick out, it's the weekend. That's good. We'll watch that storm on Monday.
I mean, all over the place, right? Could it get more Maine than this?
This is what you signed up for.
We only got a week to hide the Easter eggs to go from Sunday.
Yeah, well, they've done that.
I don't want to get them buried in snow.
They've done that in the snow. You know that.
Make them harder to find.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Put hand warmers in the eggs this year instead of chocolate.
Hi. In Belarus, saying goodbye to winter is a great reason to ski in a costume and maybe take a freezing plunge as well. And boy, did they do that over the weekend. At the end of each winter season, participants gather to say goodbye to the slopes by taking part in a festival called Californication. Despite the fun-filled atmosphere, the event does involve competition with winners determined by a jury across several categories, including best costume, best trick. Oops. Yeah,
no one wants a pizza.
Get up there, and longest swim.
No one wants to see a slice of pizza fall.
No, not unless it's falling into my mouth.
There's no 5-second rule with that.
No, that's all I'm looking for.
All right, guys, a lot more coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. Let's check in with Cindy for a preview. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. We have a lot coming up in the next half hour. A woman is now officially charged with mailing a threatening letter to Senator Susan Collins and her husband and claiming that that letter had poisonous ricin on it. We're going to take you to today's court appearance. Also, actress Felicity Huffman is apologizing for taking part in the college admissions bribery scheme. She'll plead guilty to rigging her daughter's college entrance exam. Those stories and much more ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, stick with us. Brain drops when we come back. Rachel says because you're going to mornings, she's going to have to force herself to get up so she can have morning coffee with you. How nice is that?
Come on, Rachel, let's get up. I don't drink coffee, but I will start now if you want me to.
A lot of people still congratulating you on the change.
Yeah, I'm excited.
How great that it works out for your life.
I think it works out for the station. I mean, honestly, Lee talked about how he's happy with this, and obviously I've talked about how I'm happy with this. I think this works out for us. I mean, I'm a viewer of our station. I grew up watching this station, being from here, and I think it makes us better too. Like, I'm gonna love seeing Lee and Cindy together. I think that's a great idea, and I'm really happy to get to be with Sharon and Todd again. So I think neither one of us is leaving, and we're not bringing in somebody from Oklahoma you guys have never heard of before. So I think it's pretty cool that it'll make us as a unit better. So that's that matters too.
I pitched this in one of our editorial meetings, but I really want to see this come to fruition. I would love to see how your dogs are reacting to you being around more, and your kids.
Well, I let them out when I get up at 2:30.
The children?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, I let them go. Bye. I make the kids go pee in the backyard. No, I let the dogs out to go to the bathroom at 2:30 so that they'll sleep a little bit later so that my wife doesn't have to get up with them, because that's usually what I would be doing in the morning. Yes. Since I'm not there, I'm here. So I wake them up at 2:30, and the two girls look at me and they're like,
seriously?
What's up? But it's working because I make them go out, then they come right back, and then they sleep a little bit longer. So, but they're definitely, the girl dogs are looking at me like, what is going on?
Who are the two girl dogs? Husky and the black lab?
Yeah.
Hattie?
Yeah. The boys look at me and they're not going anywhere. Like they'll hold it until noon if they have to. They're not
the golden retriever's name? Zion. I knew it began with a Z.
My Zion.
I only know Maddox.
He's the
OG.
He's the original pup.
Yeah.
Well, he's the original pup that's still alive. Put it that way.
OG.
He's the OG. He's the OG
pup.
golden retriever.
Oh, sweetie.
We have nothing besides this, right? I don't need this?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Oh, Jeff,
Great.
thanks for plugging those in.
And we need to change this?
Whoa,
whoa,
So, an update since you were last here.
Yeah.
Tito is not as aggressive as he once was. We don't know if he was going through a phase or what, but it's tapering off. Yeah.
Welcome back, Lee, to Brain Drops.
Oh, what is this called?
So why do women live longer? Have you ever thought about this?
Yes.
I actually have wondered.
Okay. Do you have any guesses? You probably know at least one of the answers.
Yes,
We're the ones that schedule the doctor's appointments.
I'm gonna go with more stubborn.
Well, I don't know if that factors into dying, but so one of the main reasons that I knew before I read additionally on this was occupational hazards. So traditionally, men have higher risk behavior just in general. When they smoke more. And also just jobs, especially up until recently, they had jobs that put them in risk of either dying or contacting chemicals they shouldn't contact and all that. But there's more to it than just that. That's part of it. The life expectancy gap depends on the country. So in America, it's 73 years for a man, 80 years for a woman. It's up to 12 years, though, in Russia. This is really simple, and I never thought about it. Okay, part of the reason for this mortality difference is the fact that women have 2 X chromosomes. So if there's a defective X chromosome, it can replace it with the other X chromosome. Men can't do that. And so mortality, even at an early age, is 25 to 30% higher in men. That's in the first year of life, in absence of all other control factors. So some of the gap is narrowing based on men taking on less hazardous jobs and women working more in general, but some of the gap may inevitably be there between the X chromosomes and just the original mortality of men. And that also includes in the womb that males are more likely to die before being birthed than women. So
that's
real
pretty
upper.
uplifting, yeah.
Real upper.
Yeah. And here's
Welcome
this
back,
poor
Lee.
lady holding nobody's hand.
This is,
now I'm depressed. Dude.
She's 80 and he's 73.
What's the matter with you?
That's what happened. Sorry.
All right.
Welcome back.
Chromosomes.
New Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Coming up next on News